Okay, so we left off with Ray talking about walk-ins and like what's happening with the whole walk-in situation. Like, can he shed some light on why we need them? Why so many?
Yeah, so we need them. Okay, yeah. Because there's too much hate. Like, there's too much hate on earth right now. There's not enough love. So the intention, like what these souls that are attempting the walk-ins, what their goal is, you're hearing all of these recovery stories for people that are being in the ICU and they're coming out of
turnaround. Yeah, like the one with Roseanne that we were talking about.
Yeah, like these people are very, very ill and then they are fine. They end up being fine. Like a lot of those souls are exiting and they're becoming fine because it's someone else. There's another rejuvenated soul in there that's so much stronger.
Wow.
Yeah, that's phenomenal, babe. So the goal is to help the globe experience more love and get everybody kind of on the same frequency to where we can they are going to teach all of it's going to massively wake a bunch of people up. You're talking in circles and way faster than I can talk. So there's going to be like a massive wake up.
So will we see it as like, say someone that we considered asleep to be all of a sudden like say my ex-husband, for an example, he's asleep. So like, would I experience him being completely different? And like, now he's into the stuff that I'm into. Now he's like enlightened, things like that.
So he doesn't think it's going to be like instant like that. No, like you will probably see signs of things becoming more
So
like they'll start more of a progression. Now these people that are sick that end up recovering, those are going to be the new souls that are waking everybody up because they're going to fully be aware that they had indie type experiences.
Okay, so then is it like the first wave is the ones that had the virus and those are the higher level wake up souls, the heavy hitters?
Yeah.
Then like they're here to wake up people like my ex and others like that.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. It's kind of like what we're experiencing right now, like us that came in to wake up early and like way showers.
Okay, so he's saying that there is going to be another wave of walk-ins similar to this, but it's not going to be pandemic type death everywhere.
Okay. So that can happen in your sleep. It can happen.
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty interesting. That's intriguing.
So when is this going to happen? Like, when's the next wave and kind of how's that going to go?
So the first wave is the ones with the virus, just to be clear.
Yes.
Okay.
Like what we're experiencing right now is.
Okay. The first wave.
Right. So he's actually talking about China. I can't really
There's a lot of people in China.
Yeah. Okay. That was more for me. The whole China thing was more for me. It wasn't. It
Okay.
had nothing to do with any of this. I'm like, thanks.
Okay.
He could have told me that at some other time. So the second wave stuff, let's go back to that. Okay. So the second wave is more of like a domino off of the first wave with the new souls from the old souls, you know, doing all of this work and spreading all of this love and all of this knowledge and experience and education. It's going to, okay. So he's telling me like, it's going to be like a domino effect. Like this person is, shedding all this love onto this person. This person's taking that love and adding some knowledge and shedding it onto this person. This person's going to take that love, that knowledge, and add some experience and shed it onto this. It's like it's going to be
okay. Well, then
more gradual. Like this is all going to happen like massively, and the second part of it is going to be a little more gradual. But so he's saying, wow, you're so he's saying that 2021 is the year, like magic is going to happen in 2021.
Yeah, I've heard that too. So then this year's the year for everybody to do the walk-ins, wake up, all that stuff. It sounds like
Right.
a transition year.
Yeah.
Wow. Can Ray shed some light on it? It didn't feel like a dream. It felt like I was taken somewhere. And this is the second time I've been taken to this spaceship. And I just have a knowing that it's a spaceship. It was all white. And there were high-level beings in there. And I was there as an observer, or it felt like I was an observer. And I saw a man that I know among with other people, lots of people, and they were placing like very high-tech, high-level alien technology. It felt alien to me because I'd never seen it. So I'm just using my limited vocabulary. So it was high-tech technology, and they put it on his face, and he was laying like in those pedicure chairs. Again, just my limited vocabulary. So he was leaned back, kind of like those hospital chairs, those clinic little table things. And he had this weird high-tech alien mask on his face. And I was fascinated with the mask. And this high-level being was, you know, supervising all the healings. A bunch of people had them. They were all, it felt like a pod or something, a healing pod of some kind. And I was so fascinated and like, I wanted to try the mask on. I said, well, I'm next. And they said, no. And it felt like a firm, like smack, no. And I said, but it looks fun. I want to try it. And they said, it's not for you. You don't need it. They're being upgraded and they're being prepared. They need it. You already did this. So what was that?
Okay. So he's saying that is currently what's happening. Like what you saw, you just saw it as he would see it, like from looking down. So everybody wearing these masks and everything now.
I didn't even think about that. I didn't think
the mask is,
wow.
A lot of people are doing that out of fear. It's not out of protection. They're doing it out of fear because they're doing it so they don't catch anything. However, the mask is more of a protection. So the protection is where the upgrades are coming from. And okay, so he's saying that if you're wearing a mask, it's not because you're afraid, not necessarily. But there are a lot of people that are wearing them because they are afraid and because they are trying to keep the virus from infecting them. And that is not what the masks are intended to do. The masks are intended to help create a protection from the, okay, I kind of got it twisted around a little bit. I'm sorry. So the people that are wearing them for protection are wearing them for protection for a reason. They are getting upgrades, or they have been upgraded and they are protecting themselves from the crap that everybody else is trying to scare everyone with. Does that make sense?
Just to interject, this man, he's a friend of mine who I saw, he is in a lot of fear. So that resonates. And there were random people that I didn't know. I didn't go and look on the ship because I was standing next to him. And I was told,
Right.
because we stopped talking. So I was told he was taken away because he's being prepared, because my energy is too big and too strong for him. So they were doing something to these people, and it was like all I heard was upgrade and prepared. And
Okay.
and then I wanted to do it because it looked so cool and fascinating. And they said, you already did this the hard, long way. They haven't. So we're gonna like fast track them.
Yeah. Okay. So he is saying that the people that you saw either are or were infected with the virus, that what they went through was to help relieve symptoms so that they're physically not feeling ill, and to keep them from spreading it to other people because they don't feel ill.
So they intervened.
So it was
Somebody intervened.
Yeah. So
Plucked them.
yeah, it kind of was like a protection type. Okay, so they were turning the fear into a protection. Absolutely, a 100% upgrade. This person that you will probably talk to within the next month or so, and they're going to be different.
That's what I was told. I was told because I wanted to reach out, and I was told he's dead. And I'm like,
don't.
what? And
Yeah,
they're like,
no.
he doesn't exist. The person that you knew before does not exist. And I'm like,
And
what the fuck?
so Ray is saying specifically, don't reach out to him. He will reach out to you when the time is right.
Okay. And a lot of our friends that we have in common are really worried about him because he lost his shit. Like he was really losing his mind. And we're trying to console him and be like, no, it's not what you think, blah, blah, blah. But I guess everything serves you, even the bad stuff. So,
Right.
I mean, this is a perfect example. I never put two and two together with like the corona mask and the alien technology mask, but it was on his face. And a lot of people, thousands, had the masks. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I would never think that either. Like I know that mask is to protect everyone from me. Unless you're wearing like the medical grade N95s, then that is to protect both people. But if I was to go outside with a surgical or a procedure mask on, that is to protect everyone from me, because this, what I was told, not from
right, medical people. I have medical friends too, and they say the cloth ones are useless.
Well, and not like medical, like I am being told from spirit and higher up that there is a high probability that a lot of people will have this virus and not even know, because they will have no symptoms whatsoever. And it's gonna be more of the elevated souls that it happens with, and that protection is necessary for my loved ones. Like,
Okay, so like
or
people like us?
people around. Yes. So specifically people like us. If we get the virus, we are not going to be gravely ill, if we even notice at all.
Yeah.
So I have been led to, and this was today, starting tomorrow, anytime that I go out, that I'm not in my home or in my car, to wear a mask, because I will not know that I have it.
Oh, and you can infect someone
And
unwittingly.
I can infect.
So it's
Right,
not
without
you, it's so that you're not used as a weapon.
Right.
Whoa, I never thought about that. Because
And I was also told, like, the cloth masks, if I am going to make any of the cloth masks, to make them with an interfacing on the inside and line them with disposable coffee filters or penny liners
okay.
as an extra protection, but to line them with the and now whatever I just said, I forgot.
Wow.
The interfacing, like the
Yeah.
interfacing on the inside of the material, and that will,
Yeah, we'll
it's
over
not
you.
right. So I mean, I work in a position to where, I mean, it's not,
It's just another
I'm around all, right. I work around people that are smart and don't.
Yeah. And then I was guided at the beginning of this that even if you're around it and you're like at a high vibration, you're pretty like above it, but like fear will crack the door open and then it's like free for all.
Right. That is something else that I was told, is to never be afraid of it, because it's not going to affect me. Not to say that it won't infect my physical body, but it won't affect my being. It won't affect.
You don't have to worry about
right,
dying or anything. Okay.
Right.
So can Ray shed some light? And even if he wants to go conspiracy theory, we're open to that. With the virus situation, like this, it's global. Like nobody saw this level of chaos coming. Not like this, where the whole world's involved.
Right. Okay, so he is saying that despite everything that I have read, this is a brand new strain of coronavirus, and it absolutely can affect animals. He doesn't really want to say anything much more about it. But okay, so he's saying that the medical professionals are headed in the right direction. It's just this virus is a lot more powerful than anyone realizes.
Was it created? Like with malicious intent?
Not intentionally.
Okay, so the spread
Okay.
and everything was not calculated?
Correct. Okay, so he's saying like Petri dish created? No, absolutely not. It was not created.
So it's not like that. Biochemical warfare or anything like that.
Right. but he's saying that there are individuals that, just scientists, I guess. I mean, he didn't use that word, but that's what I'm seeing is like scientist type people discovered that it could be mutated, the coronavirus, the original, like it could be mutated, and so they were trying to dence the population of the bats. And they did not realize how powerful.
Okay.
Or human infection was not supposed to be part of the equation.
Okay. So like in Chicago, they throw out rat pellets in the alley, and sometimes pets eat them and they die too.
Right.
Okay. Okay, can Ray tell us, are we anywhere near alien disclosure?
No.
Is it really far off?
It won't happen in my lifetime, he said.
Oh, dang it. All right. Okay, what can Ray tell us about ascension and what's happening to us right now? People like us, like me and you. I felt super blasted today, and I had a mild fever, and I was crying a lot, like a lot of grief came up, and then it left.
Yeah, that makes sense. So we're all in our own way going through a type of brain dump type thing, releasing what we don't need. So we have more room for the things that we do.
Okay. Yeah, it was old stuff. And it shocked me that I was even thinking about that.
Right. So he's saying like within the next couple of months, like the big, like the heavy hitters and like the strong spiritual people are going to feel completely rejuvenated.
Please. Am I one of those, please? Because I can't take this anymore.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, it's been intense. It's been brutal. And like, it's like, how much more fucking releasing do I have to do? What? He's talking shit?
Well, kind of. He was like, so you know that you'll probably release until you're gone.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, but this is very different. You can't even front Ray. You're not a part of this. So like come on. We're doing the heavy lifting for like everybody, it feels like.
So the load is going to lighten soon.
Okay.
Because of what is happening right now.
And who's coming in. I imagine.
Yeah.
That helps. Is everyone that's on this planet right now, do we all have the same trajectory? Like, are we all headed in the same direction, or not everybody?
That is the intent. However, some people's intent is stronger than others. Like some people don't know that is their intent.
Okay. So you can start off wanting something. It doesn't mean you actually have the mental fortitude to go through with it.
Right. You have it. Just what are you going to do with it?
Well, it's kind of like being married. Like, oh, well, I wanted to be with you forever, but I couldn't do it.
Right.
Okay. What can Ray tell us about 5D, is that even a thing for us? Like, is that real?
Okay, so yes and no. He's saying that there are different levels or dimensions that we call them. Okay, of where we can exist and reside. It's more of an earthly thing for them to be named because they don't call them anything.
Okay.
They're just where they go. Like, it's like me going to Europe is him going to a different dimension, you know, like that's just, but each dimension has different qualities is the word that he used. So he's saying that if we're putting dimensions, like names and labels on the dimensions, where he resides is 12.
Okay. So we want to go higher? Are we slimming it with the 5?
Okay, so no, he's saying that basically, so giving it the name of 5D would be the most comfortable place for all of us to coexist, even the people that are asleep, without it being too much in an overload. Yes.
Whoa, even the asleep people. That's interesting. Wow.
Anything higher than that, like, it's like self-implosion. Is that what you're?
That makes sense.
Yeah, it would just be too much.
How can he explain how the asleep people would be able? Because I mean, it feels like we're climbing a mountain with roller skates, and we're like, we've done all this work, and like we're just so focused, like a dog with a bone, and it feels so hard for us. How are they gonna do it?
Just like they are now, he says. So so there's still going to be tag-alongs.
What's a tag-along?
Oh, okay, so he's saying that like they're riding on our coattails now. Like, that's what they're doing. Like, they're just,
yeah, and that's why it feels like it hasn't let up for me anyway.
Right.
It feels, and people, other people that I know, it feels like we're dragging 15 people.
Right. So he said that it's going to be very similar. However, the strain and the stress is not going to be there for us. How we feel now, like the spiritual part of us, how we feel presently right now is how they will feel in the 5D. We will feel more ascended, and we will feel more of the love and more of the peace and all of that. They will have glimpses of it, like they will feel it, but there will still be struggle.
Like we do now. We have glimpses of 5D now.
Right.
Amidst the tears and the screaming.
Right. So in essence, like, them there would be like, they would be able to channel and be mediums, but we are going to just be having a conversation with all of the angels. Like, we're going to be chilling, sitting.
I was just saying chilling.
Like eating dinner with them or whatever.
Oh my God, I love it. That's so exciting. Yeah, so I saw a ladder, and like how we are right now in 4D, the bottom of 4D is the astral realm with all the dark shit, which is where I woke up into. And like, you have to go through to climb the top. So then they'll start at the bottom of 5D. That makes sense. Wow,
Yeah.
that's a really good way to put it. Thank you. That explains a lot in a way that I could understand. Good job, Ray.
Yeah, he took a bow on that one.
Of course he did. What can Ray tell us about the new Earth? Is that an accurate way to say it?
So he's saying it could be the way that you could, I mean, the easiest way for us to understand it right now in our present is yes, the new Earth.
Okay. Well, because
However,
it's so different, right?
right.
In a way, but then probably look similar, I would imagine. I'm not sure. Could he elaborate on that?
If you want it to look similar, it will look similar.
So it's whatever you want.
Yeah, he's like, it is all intention based.
Okay, the guidance that I've been getting for this entire month of April is we're creating what we're going to be stepping into. We're creating it right now. So that, because I was told not to watch, like not to seek psychic stuff, even though I do it anyway, because I'm creating what I'm calling in. I'm creating it. So it's like, stay focused on that, what you want it to be, because that's what you're going to land into. So like you're making all that.
Uh-huh. Yep, for sure.
What can Ray tell us about the event? Is that a thing? Because that's been a hot topic for a few years now, and we've been waiting on that one.
Yeah. So okay. So like the event is happening, is a thing, and we're in the core of it.
Ooh, I figured, wow.
Okay, he said we're going to swim around in the core for a little bit, just 2021.
Oh, so is 2021 like a slingshot? Or will some of us, will it happen? Okay, what I want to know, is it going to be like boom to everybody or individual?
There will be a group of people that it happens to first, but then collectively it will be a big
Okay.
a
Okay,
big thing.
so is that what Dolores Cannon and a lot of people call the split? The, like looking like the Vesica Pisces, the splitting of the old earth and the new earth. That's allegedly what the event, we understand.
Yes. And he is saying that people that are like familiar with the Nephilim and the net and things of that nature, kind of like that, but not to that extreme. Like the sleepy people are still going to be, they're not going to be banished to the old earth to keep self-destructing. Like, they're going to be allowed to come with us if they renegotiate their contracts and want to ascend and want to get to that next level. So they're being given the option to actually school and learn instead of just being banished to self-destruct.
Okay, is that new? Is that, or has that always been the case?
I mean, he's saying it like, duh, you didn't know this?
No. I honestly
No, like,
thought
that's
they were
what
going to
it's
be
like,
banished,
how he's,
and I was like low-key excited about the banishment.
Okay. So he's saying, there are people that will be banished. However, they're given a choice, unlike
okay. So it
they
doesn't
weren't
mean
previously.
you can do the heavy lifting. Like it doesn't
Right.
mean you
If
don't
you
have to
can,
do the heavy lifting.
right. If you can and you are willing to prove yourself and do the heavy lifting, you are not going. You don't have to be back. You have a choice.
Okay. Well, that's more than fair. Wow. What is Ray's higher self?
It's really funny that you asked that because I told you today already.
Mm-hmm.
His higher self is a manta ray. So a manta ray, a little bit of, I wrote about his higher self. Let me find it. I was trying to, because he kept like,
sorry,
integrating my mermaid into his manta ray, and it wasn't making any sense to me until I started writing. I just need to find
what do you mean integrating? Like superimposing both or merging?
Like my mermaid was coexisting with a group of manta rays.
Well, explain first of all, you have a higher self that's a mermaid, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's so interesting because that never occurred to me that would be a higher self. I would just assume that they're all humanoid, or I don't know. I never really thought about it.
Oh gosh, it's been maybe a month. There was a lady that I was doing some work with that her twin flame's higher self is a scorpion, like a legit scorpion. Like had, God, there was like 4 or 5 stingers.
Scorpio?
I didn't get that far to see. Like he had a bunch of cautions and fields up to where there's gonna be more, like,
okay,
there's more that we're gonna have to do between me and her to, like,
to penetrate
the higher self, right? The higher self is not allowing the physical twin flame to like wake up. Like he's holding him back for some reason, and we just haven't.
That's interesting.
Delved in. Right. So, like there's something. Yeah.
There could be lessons involved, right?
Oh, I'm sure. I got way. There we go. I think this is part of it. Here's what I wrote. I was reading a little bit more of it to see what I was going through at that time, to see how it resonated. And now reading it, I'm like, that was silly.
We always do that, don't we? That was saying about.
Okay, so here's what I wrote about the mermaid and the manta ray. So a mermaid with a twisted tail leads a group of majestic manta rays through I don't even know what my handwriting says right there, but through a blue sea. She is wise enough to trust and befriend the intelligent creatures and the manta rays in spite of their legendary reputation of ferocity. So my takeaway from that is, like the manta rays are the strong, masculine creatures of the ocean that, you know, they spread themselves out and they glide so peacefully, but they like are the protectors and the guiders and all of that of all of the little, you know, they're shielding the little schools of fish so they can get to where they need to go. And the mermaid was leading this pack of manta rays and trusting the manta rays, even though they have, you know, tenacity and they're, I'm gonna say it, ego driven. Like it's not without, they're not just protecting these fish just to protect these fish. They're protecting these fish to get them to a safer place so they can have lunch.
Oh, okay.
I mean, do they all succumb to that? No. But the mermaid is trusting the manta ray and leading the manta ray, even though I know that it could sting me.
Oh.
So it's like a trust lesson. I mean, reading what I read after that, it is definitely a trust lesson.
That says a lot about you, though, because, like, right. Man, talk about brave and courage. Wow.
So I don't remember what the point of that story was, but
I asked about higher selves. Okay, so then if he is a manta ray, you're a mermaid, can he tell me what my higher self is? And like, what are different kinds of higher selves? Because that's blowing my mind that a manta ray is a higher self and a mermaid's a higher self.
Okay, so there are levels of everything, levels of higher selves and levels of everything, really. I mean, if you think about it, anything can be your higher self. Okay, so I said that wrong. You need to say it more clearly then, so I'll stop saying it wrong. Your higher self can live within anything.
Oh.
Oh, okay. So the higher self is going to host in whatever is most relevant in your path, in the lifetime that you're in or the timeline that you're in.
Okay.
Okay. So, you know, people talk about oversouls and fractals and particles of beings and how everything is connected and all of that. Like your higher self is within that oversoul. Like it's like the big picture, and it can be whatever it needs to be to help you with what you are going through.
Okay. Is he able to see what my higher self is? Is he able to tell me?
He said he can, but not like he needs a little bit of time. Like it's not.
Okay.
You are not easily accessible.
Well, yeah. Okay, that was the last question. Can we go back to prophecy when you guys said that? When I asked why didn't I die when I mean, all the times, or at 12 when I fell 30 feet and had brain surgery, I feel like I should have died, or maybe I did, and I don't know.
Okay, so this is a past life thing that's bleeding into the current.
Really? Oh, the word prophecy or me falling?
No, the Profit. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Like a legit profit.
Yeah, I know I'm here to do something with my throat and the speaking, and the people have to see my eyes. I've been told that a lot.
Okay, so like you were a legit prophet in the biblical days. Like you, so these life-altering, life-changing things that would kill someone else are okay. So how people kind of daredevil and they kind of skirt the line a lot. You're the opposite. However, the things that happen to you in reality should be happening to the daredevil. So it's like kind of reverse. Like these people that are skirting the line, they're very minimal things are happening to them. However, because of who you are, these things that would cause other people to expire are building you stronger. Like it's
wow. Yeah, I have literally tried, like in the past, a long time ago in my youth, I committed suicide several times, never died. I fell 30 feet, had 6-hour brain surgery, didn't die. Like nothing happened to me. I just walked out of the hospital like nothing.
So you are okay. This is making a whole lot of sense. Thanks. You're purging unnecessary baggage that you've been holding on to so that you can access these experiences from your near-death experiences. So you can experience them and feel those things and bring it to the present and help share that with people, because he's saying that you're going to be blown away with your emotions. Like it's going to, you are going to be so.
I feel like it's already started.
And you're going to need it for the blue ribbons. And I keep looking at this card, this one that I pulled earlier. Present. And like, I keep seeing the blue ribbons within this card too.
Yeah. For those of you that are confused, we pulled cards before we started recording, and that came up. That's what she's talking about. So like I have to make peace. It's kind of reminding me of that guy that took his own life at the beginning. Do I have to make peace with like me trying to leave my body? I grew up sexually raped by my father, and I would try to kill myself to escape what was happening to me. So I should have died, and quite frankly, I don't even know if I did die. I feel like I died when I fell.
So he is saying that you have died 3 times in this lifetime.
Okay, so then I did die, because those were the 2 suicides and then falling.
And he's saying that you are not regressing. You're not regressing that information or those feelings. There's too much clutter in there for all of it to come out and make a clear picture for you.
What can I do to ease it, to help it?
You're doing what you need to be doing.
Okay.
Like is there like can she like fast track that?
Wow, that sounds fucking scary, dude. Fast track. Can I handle it in the sleep state, or does it have to be awake? Because give me some freaking nightmares. Let me handle that shit in the sleep state.
Yeah, you can. And he's saying that a lot of it is happening while you are your body is asleep, but you are not.
Yeah. Okay. Is there a way that I can ensure that it stays in the sleep state and it doesn't bleed over into my daily life? Because I mean, I'm a mom and I have clients and stuff. I don't want all that crap on them.
I mean, I don't understand what you're saying. You're doing or not doing it now? Like, that doesn't make any sense, Ray. Okay, so your subconscious is doing more work than your actual consciousness.
Okay.
And it is, you don't realize that is happening. It's not anything that you're doing or not doing. It's just happening. So basically, a little bit of intent on your consciousness will keep it from happening, and it will keep it from affecting you outside of your sleep state and everyone around you. I mean, as long as you can take care of you, it will not affect anyone else.
So it's okay to have it during the day. It won't wipe me out completely. Or are you saying that I can,
as long
will
as
it to sleep only? I can will it to just sleep? Or you're saying it's okay if it's during the day too?
So he's saying both. Like if you want it to be while you're awake and you can experience it, it can be. Just focus your attention
I don't want to experience that shit. I mean, it's because it feels like, because I do like, on a level, I know it's happening because it feels like it's all the fucking time, and it feels like it's just under the surface. It's just right here. Remember how I was telling you and Roseanne that I felt enveloped by this grief and I didn't know where it was coming from, and I thought it was like the people that I'm talking to. So it's probably that.
He said it's partly that
Okay.
there's release happening. He keeps going back to the subconscious and the conscious, though. He wants, so subconsciously, okay, so everything is not getting remedied because it is subconscious at this point. If you focus your intent on you consciously ridding the baggage, it is not going to affect anyone or you. Okay. It's because it's subconsciously happening. It has to work harder.
Oh, and slower probably.
Right, probably.
Okay. And I just heard that whoever is watching this, they could do that too, because I feel like somebody else needs to hear that. So other people can benefit from that too. Wow, thank you. I appreciate that. Well,
I mean, I can use that too. Like,
yeah,
consciously focus on
healing, releasing, purging, resetting. We can even do that before bed. We can do it when we go in a bath. When
absolutely, yeah.
Ooh, I'm getting lots of ideas now. Thank you so much, Ray. Thank you, Vallery.
And I've got like huge, when you said going on a walk, like I had huge goosebumps on my legs. So I think that is something that you're supposed to be doing. Okay. And okay, so I'm getting more information about the new earth and what you're creating, and like nature is big for you. Like walk around in nature, get some grass on your toes, and
I do.
hug
I
a
talk to
tree.
the plants. I talk to the trees. I look like an insane person and I don't care. Yeah.
Girl, I talked to Ray, and that, I mean, I'm walking.
No,
There
I
have
mean,
been
people, okay, I have a funny story. I was at the clinic. I went to pick up some prescriptions for some vitamins, and I saw a bunch of pine cones, and I had read that you can burn pine cones like you do incense, and I wanted to try it because I've never burned a pine cone, and they look cool. So I went over there, and it was a parking lot. There was just empty parked cars, and I went looking for pine cones. And I'm so used to talking to the angels. I'm always talking to them. If I have to lift something heavy, I say, help me lift this. And it's like nothing, like it's easy.
right.
I can handle it. So I'm always, if I lose something, if I'm looking for bread in the refrigerator, I say, where are the buns? Help me find them. And boom, I'm like instantly. And so I'm so used to that. That's
Mm-hmm.
just my regular life. And my kids think I'm nuts, but that's how I live. And I was in the parking lot and I couldn't find big pine cones. So I said, angels, out loud, help me find the big pine cones. Come on, guys, help me. There was a guy in his car right next to me with the window down, and he's like, this bitch. I was so embarrassed because he looked horrified, like, are you a psych patient or what? And I'm like, whatever. And I just kept going. And I told my son, and he was cracking up. He's like, my mom's a weirdo. So, I mean, no, I'm real crazy. That's so
But like you say that, and like I catch myself a lot, like walking up to work and I'm talking to Ray.
yes,
and I'm used to talking to him,
yeah,
like in my head, and then I catch myself and I'm like, I'm talking out loud to you right now. Like, why are you letting me do this?
right.
You're supposed to be like, okay, it's time to talk to me in your head right now, because you're
That's
standing in a lobby full of
funny. But you know what? We're the example. So whatever. So sorry I interrupted your message. So the new earth and like nature and going on walks, talking to plants. I do that. I'm always outside as much as I can, and thank God the weather's nice. But so then
I just that feels really just, it resonates a lot for you, like planting your feet on the ground, like with the grass and around trees and things that generate natural oxygen.
Okay, so then I can use that with the intent of releasing that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. What would Ray recommend that I word that like? How, or anybody watching, if they want to set the intention to like speed this along, how can we say that in the way that benefits us the most?
Okay. So what he is suggesting is, whoever is your go-to angel, go-to guide, whoever, ask them for guidance, and as you speak, the correct words will come out. Like, don't force it. Don't think about it. Ask for guidance, speak it, and it will be. Like, don't think about it. Just do it.
Okay. Thank you so much. Does Ray have any parting messages for anybody watching or for any of us?
Okay. So believing in everything that you feel, see, hear, believing in it is just going to make it stronger.
Whether that's bad or good, right?
Necessary. It is necessary.
Wait, what do you mean? I was saying whether it's something good that you're believing or something bad that you're believing. So like
I think that he's just really echoing what you're saying, just in a
Oh,
different way.
okay. So yes.
Yeah, good or bad. Like, you need the good and the bad, obviously.
Well, but we don't want to amplify
But
the bad, and we've been programmed to amplify the bad.
right, right. But if you're believing in what is happening to you, or he's going back to communicating with spirit
Mm.
and crossed over souls. Like, I really think that he's back on this guy again. So whoever asked that question, or whoever that message was for, pay attention to, oh, okay, stop paying attention and allow it to happen.
Okay. So let it in.
Yes,
So
hold on,
then
my
that's
bad.
back to what I was saying about not forcing him to communicate with me, just leaving the door open and like, whenever. I'll be on the
Yes,
lookout.
yes.
Okay.
But don't be on the lookout. Just
Oh, okay.
go about your
Routine, whatever.
daily
Mhm.
stuff. Go about your things. And I am very, very confident that you are going to meet this gentleman first astrally.
Mhm. Okay.
And then you both, like, it's like neither one of you realize how physically close you guys are to each other.
I've gotten that before too. Yeah. Like it's right under my nose. That's what it feels like.
Yeah. So you guys meet, like, astrally. And okay, so Ray is saying that when you have this ribbon, right, and you're climbing up this ribbon, when you get to warmth and where it feels comfortable, don't stop there. Keep going. Like, don't stop climbing your rope. Keep climbing on this ribbon.
Okay. I'm going to write that down. How will I know when I've gotten there then?
When you get to the end of the ribbon.
Oh.
Okay. So you're going to go completely past astral. You're going to quote unquote 5D. Like,
Oh. Is he already in 5D?
no.
Okay.
However, he is doing the same thing that you are. Like,
Oh, that's so cool. He's going to the astral to look for me.
yes. Okay, so he has been doing that for quite some time, Ray is saying. Like, he's
Oh, but what? I wasn't there, so he didn't find anything?
sort of. So he's getting all of these pretty things to help grab your attention.
Oh.
So it's like, oh, okay, all right. And it's not, you know, like, let's say we're walking in, like a garden, and we're walking past a rose bush, and we're like, oh, there's a rose bush. This is a garden. Oh, there's some orchids. We're in a garden. Oh my gosh, there's a dinosaur in this garden. Let's go check out this dinosaur. Like, it's going to be one of those things. Like, all of these pretty things around you that you're used to, you're just kind of passing them by, and then, like, this big floppy blue ribbon is going to fall in your face. I don't know.
Oh, me. You're talking about me. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's so funny. Is it the guy? What happened? Can Ray tell me what happened with that dude that was in my bed that I woke up to? And then he was gone. Like just as fast as he came, he was gone.
Okay.
What happened?
So he's not confirming or denying whether that is the person, but he said that they did not realize that you were as strong as you are, and they didn't think that you would be able to see them. That's why they vanished so quickly. Like when they realized that you could see them, they were
What were they
still
trying
there,
to do?
but you couldn't see them anymore. Do what?
What were they trying to do? Who was it?
Rest. They were trying to rest in a safe place.
Oh God, that's so weird. Is Ray able to tell me about in 2014, I was getting attacked for an entire year and I didn't know what it was because I wasn't awake. And I didn't know I could do what I can do. These beings wearing like the Iron Man costume, but it was all black, would come into my room, and first they would just stand at the door, far away from my bed. And they would only do it when I was home alone, asleep in bed alone. And then it inched their way and they would surround my bed. Then they started touching me. Then they started hitting me. Then it progressed after a year where I was like scared to sleep. And they pinned me down, paralyzed me, and they were drilling my brain. And I invoked Jesus Christ, Archangel Michael, and God, and it stopped and it never came back again. What was that?
Okay. There were a lot of things that were happening within that. There were
Really? Wow.
and not all of it was evil.
I wasn't scared until the day they actually paralyzed me and started drilling.
Okay.
It was more annoying than anything because I couldn't sleep, because I didn't know that I could sense as soon as they came in, and they were freaked out that I could see them and hear them telepathically. They didn't know what to do, and they were asking someone that wasn't in the room, what do we do? She spotted us.
So he's asking if you have sleep issues now. And when I say sleep issues, like, can you go from one extreme to the other? Meaning, like, do you go from having insomnia to excessively sleeping?
No, but I did back then. And I would, to the point where I would have to take Benadryl to sleep because I couldn't sleep.
Okay.
Now I don't take anything. I just sleep like normal, and it's very peaceful. Back then I had a lot of nightmares, and I haven't had a nightmare since.
Did someone close to you? So when I say close to you, I don't mean like you loved them very much, but someone close to you, like family wise, close in relation to you, pass away when you were younger?
I've never known death. My grandmother, but I was a little kid, so I don't remember. Like I didn't grieve or anything, so I don't know. Yeah, a lot of people died when I was a kid. I mean, great grandparents, grandparents. The death that I experienced firsthand was a best friend that was murdered when I moved here to Arizona. She was my first friend in Tucson, and she was found murdered. But I mean, that's the only death that I've, had a connection with.
He's not connecting with any of that.
It felt to me like it was work related from the sheriff's office that I worked at. It was a really dark place. It felt like something like that. And in sessions that I had, I don't know if this is true or not, but I was told that they were trying to get me to go back to sleep because I was starting to wake up. I was starting to research a lot while I was at work during the graveyard shift when there was nothing. I was reading about spiritual ascension, and there was a new lieutenant who started working there who's super dark, and he played some part in that, in trying to get me back asleep. They were trying to put me back in a box so I wouldn't come out. And they were saying,
Okay.
don't let her remember who she is.
So there is something around that. I don't think that is specifically any of those people that you worked with, as more
I was told it was the beings controlling them. Not,
yes.
it was like heavy
Yes.
duty, higher level, dark, whatever.
But I see, like, he's not feeling like anything related to your job had anything to do with what happened to you.
Well, I also thought it was like my lab stuff, like military abduction stuff, where it like disguised as an alien, but it's not an alien. Because my original assumption in my naivete, I thought it was aliens, because I didn't know what an alien looked like. And then I thought it was like spirit guides, and I thought it was ghosts, because I wasn't afraid. And I thought, oh, if it's evil, I'm supposed to feel fear. Like my guidance would go off. But it never occurred to me that when you're used to, I mean, I was pretty much raised by Satan, so I don't scare easily. So that never occurred to me. I thought, oh, I'm safe because I wasn't afraid, but that doesn't mean you're not going to get your ass kicked.
Right. So he put something in my head and now it's gone. Like, I feel like his energy is really
dwindling.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just curious. I've always wondered about that, because that was crazy and intense. And
so I can tell you, like, before he started, like, he's still here and I can feel him, but it's just not as strong. But before that, like, as you're talking, I feel him trying to access more of your higher self and access more of your oversoul to try and like figure this out with you, like not for you, but with you.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, you've got a lot of walls, girl.
Well, look at where I'm at. This is like cartel city over here. And like, I've been battling for years. So until recently, I've only started barely putting the sword down. So it's like, I'm getting used to it.
Okay. So he's saying that if you need those walls up, cool. Like
I don't.
fine.
I don't. How would I even go about taking them down? Because it's like now it's to the point where it's so automatic that it's unintentional. And I feel like that also blocks me from receiving because of that.
Yeah. So that goes back to the subconscious and the conscious thing he's saying. But what he is specifically saying, like in relation to you two connecting, if you need your sword out, that's fine. He will meet you with the sword, and then you guys will work through it together to where the sword can be laid down.
I don't want the sword. So what can I do, Ray, to like put that down? Because it's not intentional, or like I don't even realize that I'm doing that.
Okay. So he's saying, imagine your wall, your big concrete wall that's 20 feet high
with barbed wire. Yeah.
And you've got your sword, and keep your intent on how powerful this sword is. Use the sword as a grappling hook to climb up, like use it to get you to the top of this the wall. When you get to the top, stick it in the top of the
the wall,
concrete wall, and give it to Michael. Tell him to come and get it from you.
Okay.
Let Michael take it. Nobody else will be able to put it. Ray is saying nobody else will be able to pull it out. Once you stick it in, not even you will be able to pull it out.
Okay.
The only person that will be able to pull it out is Michael.
Okay.
And then go down the other side of, like, don't go backwards, go down the other side of the wall, and he will try to meet you there.
Okay. Okay. Wow. And can anybody use this? Because I know a lot of people that have walls up like that, ex-warriors that are like still in battle mode, and they're not even doing it.
Ray really wants to talk about military and ex-military and PTSD and things that they can do, but he just does not have the energy right now, so it'll have to be another time.
Sure.
But that is close to him, like that's very personal to him as well.
I know a lot of military people like that. Yes.
He wants to talk about that and get into that at some point, but
okay, what did you call it again, so I can write it down so we can remember for next time? Military, ex-military,
and PTSD.
PTSD. Okay. And that feels like a lot of us warriors have that PTSD too.
Well, and PTSD in general, like he's prefacing this, it's not just military and ex-military that suffer from PTSD. That is just what is his truth, and that's what he can relate to. But their PTSD and the things that he can talk about and help with are can be used universally. He just like his truth is military,
and it'll
not just
on a wide level. Okay,
right. So it doesn't just have to be military people. Anybody that. Okay, so he's saying use yourself as an example, speak your truth. So I'm going to speak my truth just for a second so he can, lower his stuff. But PTSD, I suffer from PTSD. I've never been in the military. I've never experienced an NDE or anything like that. However, I have had tremendous amounts of loss in my life. To the point to where, so I've lost my son, which makes me very protective of my daughter, and my mind always goes to the worst when anything happens. And it's getting better to the point to where I don't just automatically go there, but it's still there. Like I've lost my son.
It's a conscious, it takes a conscious effort, right?
That is my reality. So like all of these people, it can't happen to me. It can't happen to me. Well, it hasn't happened to you, and pray that it never does, because once you lose your child and then your father and then your spouse, like there's nothing left that I can say, well, at least I have this. I mean,
well,
I have my daughter. Yes, I have my daughter. But like
that can't rattle anyone.
Right. I can't say, well, that will never happen to me, because that has always happened to me. And that's just where my mind goes sometimes. And sometimes it gets me to a point to where I'm like, how do I get out of bed? I mean, it's bad. Like,
well, you're like low-key waiting for it. I mean, I can relate with the sexual abuse. It's like when's the next abuser gonna come?
Right.
Like that bus always comes. Yeah.
There's, people use different coping mechanisms to get them through the day, and 90% of those coping mechanisms are not good for you. It's just what you do to survive. Like when Ray died, Kinley was a little over a year old, and she was still going to bed at 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. Like that is what time she would just fall asleep. And when she would go to bed, I would go to bed, because I did not want to be alone.
Yeah.
I couldn't face being alone. And I had never had to be because he was always there.
Mm.
But then when I put Kenley to sleep, all of a sudden I'm alone. As an adult, I'm going to bed at 6:30 p.m. and not waking up until it's time for me to get up and go to work.
Wow.
That is not healthy, but that was my coping mechanism because of PTSD. So I really want to hear what he's got to say too. So
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you both for your time and your energy. We all really appreciate it.
I love it.
I love it.
So I wrote some things down, and Ray is telling me real quick to repeat specifically what you said: the Super Bowl football field and players, the green grass. And then I put underneath that, appeared painful, but not.
Okay, now I'm being shown a dream because they're not dreams. I know I'm going somewhere when I do this. I had another traveling thing where I was getting ready, like I was sitting at a vanity and I was getting ready, like it felt like my wedding day, but it wasn't. And my hair was like bomb and my makeup was bomb. And I was like, when I stood up, I was wearing a football uniform and I'm like, what? And it was very crisp, very clean. And I didn't need the shoulder pads or the helmet because I knew I'm protected. And I was standing in the hallway that the players go down to go out to the game. And I knew I was going to win. And it felt like imminent. And like all of us are in that right now.
I am being drawn to ask you what number was on your jersey.
I don't remember. I want to say 9 because that's my number, but I don't remember.
Okay. It'll come to you.
Okay.
And someone will need to know that.
Okay.
I don't know who, but someone will need to know that.
I felt like you asking me that is indicative of a month of like when we're in the game, but it feels like we're already in the game.
We absolutely are in the game.
Like it's already started.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
We're going to win the game though. We're going to win.
We already won. Yeah, I knew I was going to win. I knew, and it felt fun. I wasn't scared. And I didn't need protection. So that was a big clue. You're excited. You want to do this. Yay, well, that's a good note to end on.
Yeah, it is. I want to win the game. I'm going to win the game.
We're all winning the game. Yes. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.